Okay, we're back at it. We're going to be talking histograms today. Histograms, like I mentioned last time, are very similar, at least to a degree, with bar graphs. They're similar in that they generally they look the same. They can be used to count discrete entities, but they can. The difference is that they generally talk about ranges, like ranges of age or ranges of numbers or things like that. And for me, I find reading them, interpreting them, the hardest of all of the graph types to do. I just have a hard time reading them and understanding what they're saying. So this is going to be a shorter day, but so we need to get at it. Okay, so I want to share this screen here. This is on page 100. So if you haven't got there, get there quickly. The trick in understanding these things is that you see at the bottom of along the timeline, yeah, that's right. Okay. Do you see this 0, 0? So that's, first of all, this is what we call military time or international time. Right here, this 0, 0 is right that edge there. And this 6 is there. It is not in the middle. This 6 is not in the middle. It's at that line. 7 is at that line, and so on and so on. So the first questions is how many airplanes are scheduled to arrive between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Well, 2 p.m. is 1400 and 3 p.m. is 1500 hours. So this is the time frame between this line and this line that they're talking about. This is what I mean by a range. This is a range of time. It's a range of an hour. And so the obvious answer to this is 4. So we have 4 there. Now, what times are the busiest at the airports? Well, that's pretty easy because this one here, and this one here all have 10 planes arrive within an hour's time. So between 11, are you reading this? Between 11 and 12, there's 10. Between 1500 and 1600 are 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m. That is that's where the most are. Now, the next question, though, is what is the quietest time? Now, if you look at this, if you look at this as you would a normal bar graph, you'd say, okay, well, this guy here is 2, this guy here is 2, this guy here is 2, and this guy here is 2. Well, those are 2, but the difference is in the time. This accounts for 6 hours. each of these account for only 1 hour. So really, the quietest time is from midnight till 6 in the morning, okay? D says, are any airplanes scheduled to arrive between 4 a.m. and 5 a.m.? Well, we don't know that because there's only saying that there's 2 between 12 and midnight. So that's 6 hours. So the clock, if this is 6 hours, we don't know when. It could have been just at both of them, like one just after midnight and say one at 1 o'clock, or it could be, or 3 o'clock, or up to 3:30. We don't know. Okay. So there are some things that you cannot tell with these things. Okay. Okay. So keeping that in mind, over on page 101, when you're dealing with the histograms, amount spent on renovations. So the first bar is between 0 and 1,000. The second is between 1,000 and 2,000, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to leave you with that. And once you do question number 1 and question number 2, come back to me and we'll continue on. Okay? Cool. See you in a bit. Okay. Back again. So we are on page 102 at the bottom, the very bottom. It says Arabella works as a server at a busy restaurant. She kept track of the amount of money she received in tips per table. So draw a histogram to present the tips she received. What is more obvious from the histogram than in the table below? That's the big question, okay? So the first thing is to draw. And so on the next page, if I can actually go to the next page without doing anything. Yes. The next page says that less than $2, so from 0 to $2, she received 12. So 10, 11, 12, okay. From $2 to $3.99, she had 6, and on and on and on. So what is the most obvious thing here? What does it say? What is more obvious from the histogram than the table below? Okay. A lot, most are between $4 and $6. That's what it looks like, a 4 $5.99. That's still maybe not as obvious. Maybe they're saying that the variation in the number of people in each tip interval is more obvious from the graph than the table, I suppose. But again, I don't really get it. I think I could get that information right from the table anyway. Yeah, don't know. That's it. That's interesting. Anyway, so again, down the page, you're asked to draw. Oops. You're asked to draw these histograms for for ages. Now, make sure that when you do these graphs, that you emulate like the one above, where the getting the number. Okay, so there we are there. So when you are doing this, make sure that your columns, I'm just going to do it like this, that they actually touch each other. They need to touch each other, okay? Whatever that may look like, okay? They've got to touch each other. And so here, this could be, this hash mark could be 25. Can't do that. $25, $34, and as you as you go up, 44, 54, 64. Okay, and then if you make sure that these things are touching, then you're going to be golden. Okay, I don't pay attention to that. I just put those in because I felt like it. Okay, so make sure they're touching. That's the big thing. Same thing on page 104. And then now, believe it or not, we are done for the day. You are responsible to complete all the questions up to and including page 108. And that's it. Short day. Maybe use that day to catch up on the rest of your time, the rest of your double block, to catch up on other stuff. Okay. Love you, and I will see you next when we do circle graphs. Ooh, circle graphs.